Bonjour everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking diecast and specifically the main most popular diecast scales. I've chosen 8 representations of the different scales that are popular in the diecast hobby for your viewing. And I'll start from the smaller scale going all the way up to the larger one. Mind you, this is not a fully all-inclusive of every scale type of video, since there are many variants, and obviously the off-case wear scale is not necessarily confirmed and exact, but only implied. So let's get right down to it. So first scale that we're going to explore is the 1 to 87th scale, so also known as HO scale. Very popular for model trains. Now the model I have to show you in this scale specifically would be this little bugger here. We're looking at a Range Rover Sport Supercharged. This is a model by the brand Malibu, and yeah, basically very well detailed. We're talking about a model that will have rubber tires, hollowed out wheels, as you can see a little bit there. Also has full front detail with lens headlights. You can see on the roof there's a sunroof that's part of the glass portion of the casting, and full interior that is quite difficult to have a grasp of in views of the tiny scale, but just looking at that steering column and dashboard, you can see the size of the vehicle. Quite phenomenal. Give you a look at the rear end as well. So taillights. Here's the base. Not a whole lot to see. Malibu. Scale's not indicated underneath, but it was on the actual box in which this came. This is a purchase I made at a now defunct hobby shop, probably, I'd say about 10 years ago. Alright, so we'll leave this one here just to give it a little scale comparison. Next one we have would be a 172 scale. So 172 scale is not a scale that's all that common, but used to be more popular, I'd say about a decade ago as well. So the vehicle that I have to show you in this scale, we'll put it side by side here to the Range Rover, would be this E46 Bmw M3 Coupe. So basically this is, as you can see, slightly larger than the Range Rover, only slightly. However, we all know that in the real world, a Range Rover is much bigger than a BMW M3. So I'll give you a little close-up of the details again. This is something that is extremely detailed for the size. It's made by Real X, that are still in business today, as is Malibu. A little bit more obscure brands there. So basically we've got a very nice metallic paint, as you can see. Rubber tires, again, correct wheels. These would be the representation of the 18-inch base wheels, and did come with a couple of different variants in 19-inch. Here's a view of the front. BMW M3 license. You get the chrome kidney grills that are actually tampos, and the lensed front lights. Shot of the interior here. See if we can get a view. All black. You can see the infotainment, the vents, the steering. Everything is super accurate. No cost cutting there. And if we're talking about the rear, full badging, again that license plate, you can see the quad exhaust, lens taillights, Steel sunroof on this one. And here's a view of the base. Now, mind you, these two first cars are far from being dollar cars. We're talking about vehicles that in period would have been about $10 US, $10 to $12 US each. Now basically prices are all over the place, since these are not models that are still produced. So it's a buyer's market. Whoever's willing to pay will pay what they need to pay to get a hold of these. So we'll just move this one back a little bit, continue our scale comparison. Next scale that we have is the infamous 1 to 64th scale. Obviously extremely popular. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Majorette, Maisto, all are, very common players in this field. It's without going into the premium brand. Now, the vehicle we have here on display is a second generation Audi Tt by Kyosho out of Japan. Really nice Audi series that came out 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say. We're talking about, again, a vehicle that's extremely well detailed and realistic, especially for the price point. We're talking about these normally run you around $10 to $12 before shipping on eBay. We don't really have them in store. These are more something you'd find in Asia. So if we look at details, got that front badge. Got the four-ring tampo, the four-ring emblem. Chrome's slightly gone there, but you do see a tiny Quattro badge on the left side of it. Fog light details, accurate wheels, rubber tires, lens tails, see the Audi emblem. Get pretty good detail. Interior is going to be hard to see. This is a window shut car, so with a black interior and a little bit of glare. So yeah, it's well detailed, well molded, but nothing to scream home about. You'll notice also the lack of defroster lines on the rear, but I mean, at this price point, honestly, it's pretty hard to dispute. This is true 1/64 scale. And here's your view of the base. Here you go. Next scale, fairly popular, not for brands that we have around here, and not just for cars, but the infamous 1/55th scale. You'll see this a lot with construction and farming vehicles. I know that good friend Diecast dude knows very well about the 1/55th scale and has shown it in all of his videos as well, through his collecting of agricultural and pieces. So the one I have for you here would be a Siku. This is a BMW M3 once more Coupe, the E92 generation, V8, naturally aspirated. Very cool model. These are really robust, by the way. These are very robust. They're made as toys first and foremost, but still lensed headlights, lensed taillights. The headlights are part of the glass, whereas the taillights are inserts. M3 badging, little license plate, BMW badge, quad exhaust, rubber tires. You see the wheels are, and these wheels do come back a lot there on these models, from Lamborghinis to Bugattis to everything else. Now this one has opening doors. You'll look on the inside. Nothing extraordinary to see, but I mean, the larger scale does allow for steering wheel that Actually looks good. Shift knob, seats, rear seat, you know, very well detailed interior. Yeah, nice little car. These are pretty expensive over here in Canada, but I know that in Europe they actually come up to a cheaper price than over here for singles, at least. So BMW M3 Coupe, licensed by BMW, and you have a few stats on the car. 420 PS, so 414 horsepower, give or take. Top speed, you know, really sturdy, nice, heavy models. Roll well, and Siku is a brand that really branches out into a whole lot of different scales and sets and things like that. Next, we're going to delve into the 1/43rd scale. 1/43rd scale is, especially for cars, something that is a little bit more premium. Not toys, not for kids for most part. Few exceptions, obviously. One of these exceptions I'll show you right away. So, it'd be hard to fit both. Subaru WRX STI Bug-Eye from Burago, Italian brand. So this is a really affordable 1/43rd scale that's gonna run you probably $8, $7 or $8 US, the equivalent approximately. If found on the shelves, so pretty cheap for the size of car you get. Now, obviously, larger size equals, you know, details that are easy to incorporate without it being a problem. Now, start with the front. A little bit more back here. There you go. Slightly crooked sticker for the STI license plate. You've got the lens headlights, pink Japanese STI badge or Subaru badge. This is a left-hand drive, as you can see. Well reproduced body, you know, pillars aren't too thick, side view mirrors are accurately sized. Obviously on the rear you'll see that there's a little bit of cost cutting in the way that they did their rear lights. Not the most fantastic Subaru replica I've seen. However, at that price point, nice, pretty nice to see. You've got the Subaru logos, the STI logos, little twin exhaust there, which is more WRX than STI, but hey, it is what it is. And the wheels, again, kind of like Siku. These are not great wheels, very cheap looking, but these are also somewhat of a toy item as opposed to a collector's item for most, in views of the price point. So they're robust, they're well built. An idea of the base, an idea of what's on the base, not much, you know, details limited, but at that price point, it's nice, robust construction, good paint quality and whatnot. Next scale that I have to show you, we'll just go one at a time at this point because obviously it's getting larger and larger if we're talking about the size of car. This is going to be a 1/32 scale. 1/32 scale is something that's extremely popular with slot cars, you know, Carrera and whatnot. And yeah, speaking of Carrera, a nice little Porsche 356 Coupe. So we're talking about pullback model. So spinny wheels there. This is a model made by Kinsmart. I'll show you the base first on this one. So, you know, not a whole lot to say. You can see the space here, pullback motor. Tires are really accurate. Nice little chrome wheels, simulating hubcaps. Opening doors, monochrome, but you know, decently molded interior with all the little details and those rear storage bins. Not the most detailed, but again, this is something that'll run you probably around $7 or $8 US. So fantastic looking though from the front. You know, lens lights, obviously, bumpers that are not part of the cast. Chrome detail here. Would normally on the regular car be a little bit of chrome to where the repetitors are here, the little flashers, but yeah, well, can't have it all. Side, nice little chrome work there. No rear view mirrors, but that is actually period correct. You just went with this the interior rear view mirror to calculate everything. Nice little grills on the back that are inserted pieces. Same thing for the tiny little rear lights. Nice little chrome exhaust there. All that flat 4 power, air cooled. Very nice model, especially at the price point. Something that's nice if you don't want to get necessarily into huge scales, but you know, would like to have, you know, premium detailing. It's easy and cheap way to achieve that. Next scale we're going to go with is 1/24th, which is something that's very close to popularity for plastic model kits, which are normally 1/25th. But the model I have for you here is this very nice G-body. So it's a Monte Carlo SS, 85 to 87. Set up as a drag car. This is a Maisto. Which becomes fairly obvious when you look at the front windscreen. That Maisto.com with time slips that make absolutely no sense. Running 9s, normally you wouldn't hit 192 miles per hour, but hey, that's just me. This is a cool one. I actually picked it up because I love the front clip being matte black. With all the sponsor, you know, Ibach, Springs, Brembo Brakes, Mr. Gasket, Excel, Hearst, Holly, Nitrous Express, all that good stuff. This one has opening doors. You peek at the interior, two-tone action going on, chrome steering. So you can see there's this is not an interior that was molded in one piece. It's actually made of several parts. Yeah, it's pretty nicely detailed. You know, obviously this actual model is still in production, but it's a little bit toned down if we're talking about the details. You know, obviously the yellow inserts on the seats is something that would have been popular in about 10-12 years ago and came to be extremely pervasive in the modified car scene probably in the late 90s. Redone interior. Let's see. So front end, we have a removable hood. Cool little curio there. Big block blower engine. Pretty well detailed. I mean, you know, you don't have all the plumbing and whatnot, but I mean, you know, painted heads and valve covers. Sorry, you know, you've got that accessory belt. Plastic. It's not rubber. It's part of the motor molding. But you know, you got the distributor on the back there and all that good stuff. Front end is very well detailed. You know, the Chevrolet, it's very like looking at a 1-for-1 without my hands being there. Obviously that kind of kills the whole illusion. Rear end, same, very nice. Opening trunk, nothing in the trunk. So yeah, that's a huge SS badge. California license plate. Nice meaty rear setup. Skinnies on the front. And here's the base. Put that there. 86 Chevy Monte Carlo. Maisto. Big slicks. Yep. Nice big chrome exhaust. That's part of the engine portion of the casting as opposed to the rest of the base that is plastic. All of these so far actually have plastic bases, so just in case you're wondering. Last one here, scale. Everybody knows we're talking about 1/18 scale. So 1/18 scale is not the largest that are made, but definitely the most popular larger scale one. So to show that off, got here this nice little Sunstar Triumph Gt6. This scale, obviously you can expect a lot of additional details that are pretty much represented in most brands that produce these scales. So obviously working steering, opening hood, in this case it's a clamshell, opens up in a very weird way, and I'll give you a nice look at this motor. Nice little 9.6. You got the battery, you got brake booster, you got all good servos and whatnot. I mean, it's well detailed basically. You see a little bit of the plumbing there on top, but it's not hugely you know, Sunstar I'd say is rung above your base 1/18 scale diecast, but it's nothing like you know, the higher end stuff. One rear view mirror, which is actually legitimately what would have come on these cars, just for the driver. This is a left-hand drive car actually, despite it being British. You got a nice license plate, GT6 badge right there. Obviously all lights are lensed. These are all separate parts, the bumpers, the all little indicators and everything like that. Really nice wheels, tires, extremely accurate. If we look on the back here, yeah, a little GB, just kind of weird again because, you know, if it was from Great Britain you would expect it to be right-hand drive, but this one is not. Nice exhaust here, nice exhaust detail, really like this. You got the mud flaps, which you can see here. Super well. This one does not have an opening hood. Sorry, opening trunk. However, it does have opening doors. And that interior, I mean, wood grain. You can see gauges. You even probably not super visible, but just below the speedometer, you can see the tiny stalk for the indicators. You get that gear shift, handbrake. Really, really well detailed, and that's to be expected at this scale. I mean, this is pretty much your entryway to something that's got by default a lot of details, functionalities, and that'll be close to the 1-for-1. Now obviously other scales that exist, there's a plethora, but you know, 1/12 and 1/8 is something in automotive diecast that is made. However, it is one, they're huge. For example, this is about the size of a Hot Wheels, 1/18, so even bigger than that. You know, it takes up a lot of room. And 1/8, I mean, we're talking about something that's going to be extremely precise in its construction and its detailing, and you know, they're pretty rare. And on the smaller side of things, we do have 1/100th that is sometimes seen. One example that comes to mind is the Gapachon capsule cars that are available in vending machines in Japan. So, you know, this Range Rover would be about 13% smaller. So, yeah, it would be tiny. Yeah, I'll wrap it up here. Uh, and yeah, basically, if you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe. Don't hesitate to comment, ask questions. I'm all up for diecast discussion. So until next time, I will wish you an excellent evening. Take care. Bye bye.